Podcast at kcaaradio.com.
KCAA.
Working in the margins. Dealing with our challenges, assessing needs, and finding solutions. Short-term, mid-range, and long-term. Solutions can find us working in the margins. Today's world is a tough baseline. It's more difficult than ever to just exist or get by. And it's not getting any easier. Moving forward in today's world has become both an art and a science. Food, clothing, temporary shelter, long-term housing, short-term jobs, temporary employment, or long-range careers. It all takes some help and finesse. Not everyone can do it. It's an art and a science. And let's face it, not everyone is a scientist. Some people need more help than others. The basics like reliable transportation, internet, laundry, a regular shower, even water, those basics we all take for granted. Electricity, these are the challenges of those caught in the net. Are homeless, unhoused, housing challenged, living in the margins. People of all ages, young, middle-aged, senior citizens, entire families, male, female, all reasons and all walks of life. Anyone can find themselves living in the margins. Homelessness and the challenges that go with it are not going away, and we can't ignore them. It's just too expensive. We've got to do better. Take the next step forward. Tune in now and listen to Working in the Margins.
Hello, San Bernardino. This is Shazette with Working in the Margins Family Assistance Program. This is our weekly radio show. Welcome to my new spot, 2 o'clock. That rhymed, huh? Yeah. Spot, 2 o'clock. All right. I'm honored and privileged, and I have the privilege of coming to you weekly to create a safe space for community leaders to talk about issues that plague our marginalized communities here in the IE. I'm also honored to be able to work for Family Assistance Program and to serve in that capacity in our communities. This week's show is vitally important for a couple of reasons. I'm going to share with you that our prisons are being emptied out. California is trying to find ways to be better about the prison industrial complex. I think we've always been trying to find better ways to. So we are. It's been about 4 or 5 years now that we have been moving toward emptying our prisons of low-level offenders, aged offenders back into society. They've been, folks that have been really rehabilitated, and they can come back out into society and be productive citizens. And I encourage, I fall on the side of encouragement of that, because I feel there's a lot of folks in prison that have things that they can do to contribute to this community. So, and I feel that from knowledge, I know that there are things that they learn in prison. There's trades, there's education that they learn in prison. And they can come out and they can be educators. They can, train other people, supervisors, managers, programs. So at Family Assistance Program, we have empowerment programs. That's what we call them, empowerment programs. And a few of them revolve around reentry, formerly incarcerated. One program we have is, and I've had her on the show. Her name is Emily, and she's the program manager of our Open Door. Open Door? Yes, Open Door. Mm-hmm. And we work with human trafficking on that end. Another program that we have I want to introduce you to is our Next Step. It's called Next Step program, and it's our reentry program for women. We have a housing component that goes along with that, and then everything else that they could possibly need. And so today I have the privilege and honor of having Ms. Vanessa Haro. She is the program manager for that program, the Family Assistance Program, and then Ms. Tanya Ward, Elizabeth Ward, but we call her, she our homegirl, so we call her Tanya. So Tanya Ward,
TW.
and I'm going to take personal privilege right now. I have worked in many, many facets, many, many people, many, many industries, government to manufacturing. Family assistance has given me the opportunity in the last year and a half or so to learn more about the marginalized communities around DV, reentry, human trafficking, TAH, former foster. And I feel like every time I learn, I want to bring it to you, to the community. So today, we're going to talk about, and if this triggers, sometimes I think some of my shows, they trigger folks, but I know y'all want to listen. Find somebody that can sit with you. Now that you know what the topic is, put it on pause if you need to. Find somebody to sit with you if this is going to be triggering. Some of you, I know a lot of folks that have folks that are incarcerated. This is a crappy time of the year to not have your loved ones around. It's kind of just a crappy time, to not have, we need our loved ones around. We need our supporters. We need to come together as a community to, raise up and lift up folks. I want you to find what you need in order to be able to listen to the show and hear some of the things. We're going to share some things. Tanya has agreed that she's very open to talk about her experience and what led her into her incarceration, but more importantly, what led her out of it.
Yes.
And what it means to be an formerly incarcerated person who is now an advocate, a working daily advocate to the population that she was a part of, what that means and what that looks like, okay? So again, trigger warning, make sure you find somebody if you want to watch this to sit with and to listen, but we're going to dive right in. So welcome, ladies.
Hello, thanks for having us.
We're so powerful.
Yes, we are.
I'm happy to be here.
I know. This has been a long time coming also
Yes.
because I was off air for about 3 weeks and I kept having to push shows and interviews and everything. But we are here.
Yes.
And we are going to shed light for our communities here about some of the things that, first of all, Vanessa, what we do in Next Step. I want you to talk about that a little bit, and then Tanya's going to share. And I promise that I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. If I cry, it's going to be tears of joy.
Tears of joy.
Okay.
Tears of joy.
Yeah.
Tanya has an excellent testimony. And
Exactly.
To share, and I'm just so excited to be working with her.
Right.
So Next Step Reentry. So we have a 5-phase program. So we start with in-reach within the prison system. So we have a team that goes directly into the prisons. They go into Chowchilla, they go into Chino, because there's only 2 women's prisons in the state of California. So our team case manages the individuals that are in the prison system now. That's part of Tanya's job. So she sends case management letters to the board. She advocates for them while they're inside the prison system. And then once they're getting ready to come home, that's where also Tanya steps in and her team to help them transition into either going into homes with their families or coming into shelter transitional housing programs like our own.
Okay.
So the second phase of that program is to come into housing. So they get shelter housing, their basic needs are met, access to those basic needs, clothing, things of that, life skills, teaching them how to cook, going to the grocery store, all of that stuff. Then once they're a little stabilized in that area, we move them along into our transitional housing where they start to build themselves up. They start to look for jobs. They start to take classes. They start to get trainings, resume building, building their credit repair, all of that stuff, so that we can move them along into independent living where they'll eventually get into their own housing. And we support them in that area as well. Once they're out of our housing program and even into their own independent living, we just don't let them get out there on their own. We support them. We
Come
do that
alongside
after.
of
Yeah,
them.
we do all of those wraparound services that they need because, they're not very stabilized. A little bit of nervousness going on here. So they have, our staff comes alongside them and they move into that independent living. And then
That's
we do that
awesome.
aftercare. So it's really.
That's the most important part, I think, is the aftercare, because I think folks that coming, and it also depends upon how long they served. They had to do their time.
Absolutely.
I've known women that have had to, come out as little as 2 months, and then I known somebody that had to came out after 50 years.
Yes.
And the whole world changes,
Whole
Did that
world.
for me.
the whole world changes.
Yeah.
So I want to, Tanya, I want you to tell us about your experience, okay? But I don't want you, I want you to be as open as you want to be, and you are in a safe space. So, but I know you a crybaby like me. I know that we work together, so I know that. But I want you to. This is a time to let folks know that they can survive.
Yes.
So, when I was 24, I caught a murder case, a domestic violence murder case. I was sentenced to 19 to life, and I was sent to Chowchilla. It was for my husband. My children were young at the time. I have 4 children. They were 9, 6, 4, and 1. So I had to leave my babies and go to prison with that 19 to life sentence and learn how to cope in a place where there's a lot of stuff that you could never, ever imagine. At first, I was lost in there because I didn't know how to live, and you don't know what to do in prison. And after living with my husband and depending on him for everything in life, I did not know what to do. But after a while, I did, and I decided that I was going to go to school. I also completed welding. I know how to weld.
Yes.
I know how to be an electrician.
Yes.
I earned my AA degree, but I think the thing that got to me most was learning about why I went to prison and learning about my struggles, about why I was led to be in a domestic violence relationship in the first place. And it was through seeing my mom struggle with it.
It's generational.
It was generational. Just the struggle of watching it, and I think not being able to help my mom, and
Right.
and I just learned behavior.
Yeah.
And
Let me ask you some questions to make this a little easier. Let me ask you some questions. Because you're doing great. You're doing great. But I know, going back down, it all comes to the fore. It just, comes crashing in sometimes on us when we have to even though we know we're trying to help people. Tanya, I want to ask you, when you caught your case and you have 4 babies, and what did you, and you, I don't know anything. I don't know how I would feel. I don't know what I would do. I don't know if my family would want to help me take care of my kids. What?
My mom took my babies from the beginning. And
So when kids say they grew up with their grandparents, this is how it happens sometimes.
my kids really grew up with my mom. My mom made it a point to bring my kids way to Chowchilla to see me.
Oh, wow.
And my mother doesn't even drive. So she would get on a
Wow.
Greyhound bus. And she would bring my babies to Chowchilla to see me at least once a year. And the hardest thing was seeing my youngest was a year.
Right.
And I didn't get to see him till he was 3. and he didn't even recognize me as his mom.
His mom.
And that broke me.
Yeah.
It tore me to another level because my life, I was a young mom.
Right.
And
You're a young woman now, so how old were you, Tanya, when this happened?
I was 24.
Amen.
And when I paroled from prison, I was 41.
Amen.
I made it. I watched a lot of struggles in prison. We all wanted the same thing, and that was to be home with our families, with our children. And none of us understood why we were there. We couldn't until we really like dive deep. And I really dive deep into like, why am I here? Girl, are you here? But why are you here? And then I really figured it out, like, you got to fix yourself. And then I made it my living amends because I was out in these streets doing some bad stuff before I went in. And I remember, like, I can't come back out and do the same things.
Right.
And then I have to make it to where I have to show my children and my mom and everyone that I'm not who I was before.
Right.
And
Right.
so I got into a program called the Offender Mentor Certification Program.
Okay.
And it teaches you how to be a trained drug and alcohol
Well, look
counselor.
at that.
So I did that,
And that's something that was offered in CART while you were
while I
in
was
prison.
it's still offered in prison
Look at that.
for men and women. And I did the program. It's a year program, and it's hard. But it teaches you why you're in prison and how to help other people
Right.
through their journeys. And so being a case manager with this program, for some reason, when I came home, I went to work at CIW to be
Wow.
a substance abuse counselor there. But I couldn't do nothing for them there. You can't help anybody inside of the prison. And I feel like the work that I'm doing outside of the prison works because I go in, like Monday, I'm going to Chowchilla.
Yes,
Yes.
And that gives the women hope
it does, I'm sure.
to be able to see us come back in to help them to say, hey, I got a job. I also have a program where you can come to. And no, I didn't know how to use a phone. No, I didn't know how to use a computer.
Wow.
No, I didn't know how to use a
A
stove.
lot changes over that time.
We didn't have phones when I went to prison.
Right.
We didn't have microwaves. There was no computers. There was no push start cars. There was no video games.
Were there electric cars? Did we have
No,
them? I don't even
we
think
had
so.
key start cars.
Yeah, it wasn't, yeah.
There was, my children were babies, and now they don't need me for anything.
Right.
And
Oh, they'll
so-
always need you.
Yeah, but they don't need me for the basic things that they
Right.
needed me for when I went in. And so you have to learn who you are. Most people know who they are.
Right.
You get to raise your children, and you also get to know who you are every day.
Right.
So when you get out of prison, women getting out of prison don't know who they are.
Right.
You can say you do, but you really don't.
Right. Because you haven't been allowed to be who you are. You
You're a
haven't been
number.
allowed to be, you're a number. You're not allowed to be a parent. And I never understood, I guess, I've had several people, that I've cared about that have been incarcerated and have been incarcerated for long periods of time. I never understood how you expect to rehabilitate a person in a surrounding or in a situation that is so isolated, so controlled. Rehabilitation to me needs to happen in real time, in real life. You need to know how you're going to function again when your kids are needing to be fed, clothed. Thank you. You need to know how to, you need to know how it is to be rehabilitated while you have to find work, while you have to, because not only did you, not only when you came out, but now you're also a single parent. And you have 4 kids that are looking at you, not only to explain to them, but but now you have to care for them. And even though they're older, and they can probably take care of themselves for the majority. I have a 31-year-old, so that's kind of a We know us with older children, you know, we know that 31 and 19 and 21 and 35 looks a lot alike, you know, and they still need mom, you know, and mom still needs them. And
Mom
we
does.
want, you know, moms need to take care of their kids just as much as their kids need to be taken care of. In case anyone out there didn't know that, our kid,
Yes.
we moms need to feel, you know, like we are, you know, taking care of our children. Tanya, I want to ask you now. Let's fast forward, honey, because first of all, you have my utmost respect.
Thank you.
And admiration. You know, I love y'all. I love Next Step girls, all of y'all.
We love you too.
Yes.
I respect you all so much because I can't imagine spending that kind of time in that type of structure, the industrial, you know, prison industrial complex, and then coming back and then wanting to go right back and do work and help people. That's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. I'm thinking once I get out, I'm free, I'm done. Peace. I'm not going. But you all have committed your work, your lives, your legacies to going back in and helping people come out. So I want to fast forward, Tanya, because I want you to tell me when you go back in and you're doing these events like at Chowchilla and Chino, what is the most asked question that you get from the clients or participants when you go? And what is your best? Give me your best. What do you say to them to let them know that they can be where you are right now?
Oh, wow. The one question, can I come to your program?
Okay.
That's the one thing. And can you help me get to where you are? And I say absolutely. Absolutely, because all they need is to call me. And another question is it hard
Out here.
out here? And I tell them absolutely. And the reason why I say it's hard is because every day in there, you have somebody telling you what to do and how to do it. And once you come home, you don't have that.
Right.
And you need that.
Right.
For some reason, I'm finding out that everyone needs that. And another thing that I'm finding out is they still need community.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And if they
Absolutely.
don't have it, we're losing them.
Right. Right.
And so
Recidivism? Are we losing them to recidivism because they're trying to, you know, they're going back to what's comfortable for them?
Yep.
So they're working, you know, they're
Yep.
dealing with people that they used to deal with. And
it's
you know,
called family.
Yes.
And some people don't understand why we call it. I spent 17 years in there. I know somebody that we're getting in programs 36 years that we're getting within the next few weeks. And it's like we're going to have to really hold on to her. And it's because that's what she's known for 36 years. And within that time that people have been in, just imagine how many family members that they've lost that they won't see
when they come back.
when they come home. And other people don't realize we have a whole different lingo, language, a way of living, the structure, I get up at this time, I go to bed at this time. I need this structure every day of my life. And so it's being institutionalized and having to peel off those layers and understanding I'm now normal again. And for someone that has never been incarcerated, you don't understand I have to be normal again. And so it kind of takes us to get them to say, you're normal and please take that off. You can open the door when you want to. You can go outside when you want to. You don't have to wear shower shoes
in
the
your shower in your house.
You can open the refrigerator.
Have your own space.
You can have, because they all have their own rooms in our housing. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have to share rooms. And so, that's another thing we tell them. You have your own room. And they go, oh my God, I don't have to share a room with nobody. I say,
Or two other
no,
bodies.
they don't
No.
have to. I say it's a TV. You can watch TV.
And let me hold on, and then right after this we're gonna go to break and we're gonna come back. But let me explain to this. This is something that is unique to Family Assistance Program. Our agency, we do not believe in multi-room
No.
for clients to be
Not at all.
clients to be in a room.
Not at all.
Our goal, our policy, our philosophy is we're going to treat people like humans, and we're going to give them every opportunity to progress. And that includes we're going to trust you with your own space.
Yes.
And we're going to
Yes,
trust you that you're
absolutely.
going to clean your space and take care of your space. So when you come into reentry housing with Family Assistance Program, you are entrusted with a lot of freedom. A lot of, we want you to find out and get back out there as much as possible. Thank you so much. We're going to come back. We're going to take a break, and we're going to dust off a little bit because we got a little tearies, and we'll be right back. Thanks for San Bernardino.
KCAA. The local business named Get Loaded Guns and Ammo is a sponsor of this station, located off the 215 and Barton Road in Grand Terrace, serving the Inland Empire and surrounding areas. Woman-owned and veteran-operated, law enforcement dealer, fully stocked. They have NRA-certified firearms training classes you can attend, supporting all your Second Amendment rights. The local business named Get Loaded Guns and Ammo is a sponsor of this station.
KCAA.
I always hear from our clients who hired another firm that they wish they'd hired DNA Financial first. Don't have regrets about your IRS tax case. Just hire the best in the first place.
One owed $150,000 to the IRS and had spent thousands on another firm. We stopped the levies, negotiated a payment plan, and had their penalties forgiven.
And while every case is different, we guarantee that we'll find your perfect resolution and get it done right.
For a free consultation, call us at 866-201-0156. That's 866-201-0156. Then you can say, DNA did right by me.
And now, the voices of KCAA with an exciting announcement.
Want to hear NBC News or KCAA anywhere you go? Well, now there's an app for that.
KCAA is celebrating 25 years and our silver anniversary with a brand new app.
The new KCAA app is now available on your smart device, cell phone, in your car, or any place.
Just search KCAA on Google Play or in the Apple Store.
One touch and you can listen on your car radio, Bluetooth device, Android Auto, or Apple CarPlay.
Catch the KCAA buzz in your earbuds or on the streets, celebrating 25 years of talk, news, and excellence with our new KCAA app.
Just do it and download it.
KCAA, celebrating 25 years.
Plant Galaxy Dispensary reminds everyone during these challenging times the importance of mental health, with a focus on wellness and offering daily deals on everything from top quality flowers to edibles and so much more. Plant Galaxy's goal is to help you win the battle within. As one of Riverside's most beautiful wellness shops on Center Street, visit plantgalaxy.net. That's plantgalaxy.net or call 951-900-5011. They're always working to keep our community moving in a positive direction.
Yard House Restaurant of Temecula takes this special time to salute the Temecula men and women in uniform who've answered the call for our freedoms. Let's give them the hero's welcome they deserve, as they have fought hard to restore peace around the world. American troops are our angels of protection, so stand up and salute them proudly. That's from Yard House Restaurant in Temecula, where they say service isn't just a courtesy, it's a commitment. Call 951-296-3116 for Yard House Restaurant of Temecula at 40770 Winchester Road in Temecula.
KCAA Loma Linda.
What's the every single black?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, you're perfect.
Welcome back, San Bernardino. This is Shazad at Working in the Margins. This is KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. We are in the wonderful Teamsters 1932 building. This is where our new studio, spit it out, our new studio is. And I love it because we have a great big new table. So I'm just going to keep bringing people to the table and adding people to the table.
Yes.
So we've added and invited Miss Diana. Miss Diana. We call her Dee Dee. This is our Dee Dee. And she's Dee Dee, you're fairly new to Family Assistance. How
Barely
long now?
90 days. After 90 days.
You in your 90 days?
Yeah. I hit my 90 days.
Hey,
I made it. I made it.
Awesome.
And she's staying.
I don't know if they're used to me yet, but
We're used to you.
Oh, yeah.
We're used to you. And I know, Dee Dee, that you have your own story. And I want you to give me a few minutes, just a couple, because I know it's important. I know that your stories are important, but I also know that it's tough to retell sometimes. And I want to be respectful of that. But I also want you to inspire other people to, other women and men. I have
Men
both.
too.
That are incarcerated to know that, when you come out, that there's options, that there's hope, that you too could find a way that would make something that you do that makes you want to go back in there and help other people. Like you all have found, Family Assistance and the work you do through Next Step. So Dee Dee, would you like to tell us a little bit about your journey in, but more importantly, what you did on your way out and what brought you to Family Assistance Program?
Oh, okay. I'm a survivor from child abuse from the age of 4 to 14, which at that time led me to living in the streets, doing street life, in and out of domestic violence relationships. I was arrested at 25 for first-degree murder with a 35 to life sentence. I spent 25 and a half years in prison, finding out the gist of what led me to that and the understanding. I made it a point, as well as Tanya, to make a living amends for Regina, to make sure that her death wasn't in vain, and that I continue to help people that don't go down the same path that I did. My passion is to definitely see the better inside people that they can't see, and to help them continue to grow as women and who they were divine to be, basically, what God put us on this earth for.
Right. Do you have children?
I have 2 boys and 2 grandsons and 1 grandson. They were 4 and 8 when I went to prison. They are in their 30s.
Okay.
And my mother raised them, which was a very hard decision for me, being the fact that my mother was actually one of my abusers as well.
Right.
And very hard to parent through prison, having to figure out how to get through to them without her screening calls, screening letters, screening everything, and then just to know that I was going to get out someday, hopefully, and redo that whole cycle. And then I've been home. February will be 3 years only, so I'm just barely home. And it's a lot that I've had to, change that cycle in them. So parenting is definitely not easy, but it's definitely not easy coming home to grown sons.
Adults, right.
And one of them thinking that I'm still who I was,
right,
because he was 8 when I left, and then the other one not even knowing anything of what I was.
Right.
So that's been trying, but thank gosh I've had a lot of good support system, which is basically my family from inside, more so than my family outside.
Right. That just amazes me. So you have more support from people that you served time with.
Absolutely. And a lot of times being formerly incarcerated, we do.
That's what happens.
We have our own language. We
Tanya,
have our own.
That's what Tanya was saying.
Understanding of lingo and just The
and
struggles.
the need for community and family and
Yes.
inclusion does not end with your family.
Yeah.
No.
It's within us, and so everywhere we move, that's what we're looking for. So where we end up, and where we might, if it's incarceration, gangs, things, those, that's what we're looking for, because that's what we're all looking for.
The only thing is, my fight was never to end up back where I was at.
Yeah.
I never want to put myself back in that position. So my friendships, my relationship, anything that's a relationship, I tell myself I never want to go. I don't ever want to end up back. So people call me real scary right now. I'm like the scary Larry.
That's okay.
But it's because of now I have the option to go back into the prisons to help. Right? That's the difference. So with that option, I'm not going to take the chance to do anything. And I've seen what it is. Every small thing that could send someone to prison.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if I know everything
Like
that could
miss me on that.
exactly. So I know, and so part of me tells you, don't do that, because I know it can send you there.
Right.
And it's one small thing you can say to somebody that could send you to prison.
Yeah.
One small action. It's just what we know.
But you're different. Do you consider yourselves like successfully rehabilitated? I don't know what that really means.
I don't know what that means, but I think so.
People use that and throw it around.
I believe so, because we are where we are, but I don't believe this. Honestly, I can tell you this from being in there. They didn't rehabilitate me. I rehabilitated me, because I know what was wrong. Right. And being in there, they don't rehabilitate you any kind of way, because I got more traumatized being in there.
Tell the truth.
I got treated bad because of who I am or who I was around. I got jumped on. I got
so you kind of had to seek out your own rehabilitation. It's like they make it available, but
no, they don't have a lot of things available to you. So here goes. A lot of the women in there, who they call inmates, a lot of the women in there make up groups that they know will help them. Like, you make up empowerment groups to empower you to know. Like, I know that I had issues with my self-esteem. Right. So that self-esteem groups was made up. Right. Codependency groups were made up. Right. Anger management groups was made up. This is not stuff that the
so
prison
it sounds like
gives
you have to have a little fortitude to want to actually rehabilitate.
Yes. Absolutely.
And I want to ask a question from Vanessa. How much better does your program work when you have people with lived experience?
Oh my gosh, the empowerment it gives to our women that are in our program. They see themselves on this side of the table instead of that side of the table. They see there's opportunity for them to be in my position, their position, anything. And our clients and our participants, they know more. They better understand their needs because of the staff that we have that lived experience. Right. And because they have that lived experience and they bring it to our table as well, we can honestly say in our program, we don't look at their record. Yeah, we get the documentation, we get all that. We look at the person sitting in front of us that is coming into our program and how we can help that individual succeed.
From there.
From that point forward. I don't want to know what you did. I understand there's been some traumas. Let's help you work through that in order for you to be successful, because like I always tell our clients, I want to help this person now, but I want to see 10 years from now person be successful.
Because that's the goal when we talk about our data and things like that, and all we talk about our deliverables and things like that. Well, that's the measurable goal, is to how long did the person stay out, stay employed, stay home, stay housed, and not recidivize. What
is the reasons why though? Did you hold their hand from the beginning to figure out what it? So here's what I do. I get them from when they're in there, and then I ask them questions.
Tough questions.
I do. I'm really on them because I really understand from a whole perspective of what you need. Tell me what you need from our program before you get here. But specifically, tell me what you need from me as your case manager, so I can work with you, and then we can all work with you as a whole program. If you don't tell me what your needs are, I know what your basic needs are because I knew what my needs were coming home. As a person, you need for me to tell me what your needs are so that I can work with you as to reach your goal. What is your goals? If you don't have a goal written out, then call me back when you have a goal written out so that I can know exactly what your goals are. And this is what we talk about, like Monday when I see people, this is what we're going to talk about.
And it's important, well, I'm going to ask, how important, Dee Dee, is it to, when you're letting folks know that, okay, this is the part and this is the time now that you need to start getting ready to come out. How important is it for them to have someone like you and Tanya because or do they just like if there's not people going in and saying, okay, it's safe out here, but we're going to help you come out here, and you're not going to have to be in survival mode all the time. How important is that?
For me, being the fact that I did 25 and a half in there, I know a lot of the girls that are coming to our program. They also know how I am, who I am, and what I won't tolerate. So that's a big difference because me and Tanya are like oil and water, I
know.
I'm like the nurturer, and she's like the
It's like the good cop, bad cop.
Exactly. But at the same time, you can't. I see through everything. The games that you've done, I know I've been where you've came from. I understand. I don't want to see you fail. I'm not going to allow you to fail. You're going to get it together, and it's that, not the tough love, but it's just, come on now. This is a big sister. Let's do this, and I think when they see, it is better, when you see people that's been where you're at and they're sitting in front of you, showing you and telling you and just talking to you like you're real. You're not just a person. You're not just a number.
And you care.
Yeah.
Yes, we care.
Yes.
You care. You coming in and you care. You're not coming in just telling them, okay, when you get out, you need to find Jesus.
The difference.
Or you need to go to substance abuse.
With us, I think it's with our team, it's not a job.
It's
not.
No.
So for me, I come to work and I hang with the girls all day. That's how it is. But the job gets done. I need them. I lead them in their direction.
They're progressing.
And everything else,
they're working. They're getting jobs. They're getting reunified with their families.
I've
watched your work.
And including like the ones that are coming home that have children. Like I relate. I get it. I understand. Me and Tanya both. We did a one-on-one today. Like not really breaking a client down, but like, let's get to the core of what's going on.
Let's get to the core.
I want to see it. You stop avoiding it because you're avoiding something. You can't do that with us because we've been there. We understand. We'd avoided so much. That's what led us to prison.
On a scale of, well, we're going to do percents because I know the answer to this. But on a percentage, I want you to tell me how many of your clients or your family that was in prison with you were domestic violence victims.
So I'm a domestic violence advocate. I am trained in that. I also am a sexual incest survivors 12-step. I can run the program myself, which they didn't have in there for 20 years until my last 5 years. And so 85% of the women incarcerated have been in a domestic violence relationship. And a lot of people tend to think physical, oh, you weren't beat on, but that's not true.
Not it.
The worst part of domestic violence is emotional and mental, because those are the things that, I just got chills. Those are the things that stick and stay. My mother started abusing me at the age of 7, mentally and emotionally. And so even still today, I still have some of those things where she'll run her, she'll speak on something in the house, and I'd be like, whoa, it doesn't affect me like it used to. And I just look at her because she's in her age, and I'm like,
yeah, and you have better coping mechanisms.
Oh,
and
absolutely,
coping skills.
absolutely.
All right, ladies, this has been amazing for me. My heart is so full. We're going to take a quick break. Eric, do we need to take a quick break, or can we? Okay, let's take a minute break, and then we'll be right back, and then we're going to close out the show with some positive affirmations.
Yay.
Hey.
Yeah?
Right.
Okay. Thank you for
I
tuning
love
in,
positive
San Bernardino. We'll be right back.
KCAA Loma Linda.
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau de Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can be truly miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1 pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com, or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com.
This is KCAA.
Welcome back, San Bernardino. This is Shazette. We're working in the margins here at KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. We are the station that leaves no listener behind. And it's been my honor today to share this table, this space and time with Vanessa Haro and with Tanya Ward and with our Dee Dee, Diana, to talk about reentry and the program that we have, Next Step. It was a tough topic. But I felt so encouraged that there are people out there that are having experiences and that they receive some type of encouragement from this, and and hope. We just want to give hope to people that their situation is temporary, and we don't want folks to make positive or permanent solutions to temporary situations. We want you to get to heal and to find your strength and your power. I'm going to go first with my affirmation. And then I'm going to ask each lady to give me a minute on something that they want the world to know, people to know, San Bernardino, the IE to know about how you feel about the people that you work with and the work that you do. So first, I'm going first because mine is about the people around this table. And it goes to what Tanya said, and it goes to what Dee Dee said. You can't pick your family. Sometimes your family picks you, and it's where you are at that point in your life that you choose the people that you need to support you and uplift you. Mm-hmm. In my year and a half, I've been in a few different departments and different populations with family assistance, and I have to say that as I sit here today, I have a family that I can depend upon and trust to come alongside me in this work, whether it's in the streets, in the parks, whether they're sitting in RVs or transitional shelters, but I have come to trust them, and I believe in them, and they are efficient, equipped, talented, compassionate, and caring people. Each one of these folks. And there's more of us.
Yes.
Because if you feed us, we will grow. No.
Yes.
But if you and there's more of us. And the one thing I love about Family Assistance Program is that we get to work towards our strengths.
Yes.
We hire people with lived experience because we know that people with lived experience have everything to offer to people who want to do this kind of work and come out and do social service work. So I want to thank each of you.
Thank you.
I want to thank each of you for what you do every day to keep this world on the positive tilt. Thank you. Your community thanks you. Woohoo. Because they get to see the people that you help out there shopping at Target, paying rent,
Paying bills.
Absolutely.
paying bills,
Yes.
Going out to eat.
going out to eat.
Absolutely.
So thank
Paying
you.
our taxes.
Your community thanks
Yes.
you. And I want to go to Vanessa first, and we're just going to go right down. Tell me, Vanessa, what do you want folks to know about you and your program?
I just want people to know that we see you. You are not the sum of your past mistakes. That there is a community and a support system to help you be the individual that you want it to be. We are not what they tell us. That those negative words are not. They don't mean anything. What counts is from today forward. And my staff is awesome. They work well together. The power in numbers, because we bounce so many ideas off of one another, and we could not have done it without this team just being who they are and having that experience.
Right.
Lived experience or not, we just are still powerful together.
Amen.
Big old fist.
Awesome. Tanya.
I want to say I'm empowered every day to be able to come to what I feel is not work, but my passion to help people in the same way in which I wish I would have got the help I needed before I was led into those walls. And so to everybody around me, I want to give the same grace and love that I feel that is supposed to be given every day. And I love where I come to.
Do.
Awesome.
Thank
Dee Dee.
you guys.
I want to say that I am humble and grateful to be able to do the work that we do, and empowering. And I want to continue to make sure that people can understand who they are.
Awesome. And you will. Ladies, thank you for coming on to the show today.
Thank you for having
Thank you
us.
for having us.
I really appreciate, again, I really appreciate you. I have love for you and the work that you do here. San Bernardino, that's about it from us today. I think the next show is next week. Remember, it's 2:00 on Thursdays. The podcast will be out soon. I think I have one more show before Thanksgiving, so I'm going to have resources. If you want resources before the next show, follow me on IG at Shazette the Advocate. I am posting flyers every time somebody sends me something that they're giving out food for the holidays. So Shazette the Advocate on IG, Facebook, whatever, and you'll see the information for the events. Again, thank you so much. And KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, and we are out.
Thank you. Have a great day. Woo-hoo.
NBC News